Today we want to have a little bit of a chat about the breath and about breathing and just how important this is to just about every facet of your dancing. I was talking to one of the girls yesterday about just how much it influences your flexibility, your core control, and anything that's going on in the hips or even in the lower leg. And I wanted to do a little bit of a video to explain just some of the reasons why this is so important. Now, the minute I raise breathing with a lot of dancers, they say, "Oh, I know I don't breathe well." And I say, "Well, have you done anything about that?" "Oh, no, I just don't breathe well." So there is definitely a lot we can do. It's just like any other element of your technique. With more information, more understanding of your own body, you can actually change it quite a bit. The questions that I usually ask are, have you ever had any asthma or any breathing issues? A huge number of people have. If they have been given an inhaler or something like that, I say, were you given any breathing exercises to help improve your function rather than just taking your inhaler? And about 90% of people say no. So this is something that I really want to work on, is getting more people understanding that yes, you can do exercises to improve your function. Also, I often ask, do you get hiccups often? So often if you're getting hiccups, your diaphragm is going into spasm and it's an indicator that something's not working right around that area. So today we're going to have a look at the rib cage and about just how important this breathing and the mechanism of breathing is to your flexibility and to your core control. So if we look at right here, we've got our ribs coming around. So we're attaching into our sternum, our breastbone at the front, then wrapping all the way around into the back. Now when we breathe, they should do this open and down and open and down. So your costovertebral joints, these joints down here, if you're breathing well, will get a little bit of mobilization all the time. This is super important in the mobility of this area of your back. A lot of people feel really stuck in here. They want to crack it or kind of click off to the side or struggle taking their arms up into fifth position due to restriction through here. Mobilization very, very gently with each breath really can open out the mobility through here and even into these little facet joints in the back. Then we have the muscles in between here, your intercostal muscles. So as you breathe, they should be assisting your respiration as well. If your rib cage doesn't move, then you're going to be very limited in your mobility, but it can also block off the sliding of your nerves. So if we look, all of these little yellow things popping out here, your nerves come out and sit in between your ribs. You've got your spinal cord down the bottom. If this whole area is locked off, it's like there's a big clamp around your spinal cord, and this can result in lots of nerve tension issues down into the lower back, into the hips, and down into the legs. So especially if you feel a long line of pull when you're trying to stretch your hamstrings, the issue may be up in your rib cage, and it may just be because you're not breathing well. So this is an area that we really, really work on when we're trying to improve flexibility as a whole. The other really interesting thing that goes along with this is that you have something called your sympathetic trunk, which is an extra line of nerves that sit down here. So there's a very complex neural anatomy in here, but your sympathetic trunk is the nerves that control your heart rate, your breathing, and that general feeling of heightened anxiety or peace and calm. Your sympathetic nervous system is the one that is ramping up when you're trying to run away from a bear or something like that. So everything switches on, and that, if it's heightened or if it's mechanically not moving well, can influence the generalized muscle tension throughout your body. If we're thinking about our core, I'm going to flick around to the front. So when you're breathing, your diaphragm sits up into here. As it contracts down, the air is drawn down into your lungs. As it comes back up, you exhale. So the contraction down draws air in. As it releases back up into your chest, that's when the breath should naturally flow out. This is really, really important because as this contracts down, it displaces all your abdominal contents. There should be a little bit of pressure down on your pelvic floor, and then it comes back up and down and up and down and up. And this gentle relaxation and collection again of your pelvic floor is actually one of the main drivers of your core. It's not about gripping on and not using anything through here and blocking everything off. We want to have this beautiful dynamic core stability happening when we're breathing. What I find in a lot of dancers is that they hold their breath and then they try breathing up here and get very, very tight through the upper chest. We need to practice bringing our breath down to help fire our natural core, help mobilize our rib cage, and to just keep the body in a nice restoration state at least sometime during the day. So we do a 6-dimensional breathing exercise, which is feeling front and back of the rib cage and assessing how much breath happens here. Having a feel around the sides, feeling how much breath goes sideways, feeling up and down, and feeling how much play there is just in natural breathing down into your abdomen. And then using a shh or a long breath out to really help collect the core and get this deep internal strength so that we can then use that in order to have a really fluid port de bras and really fluid dancing, but being stable from the center. So I encourage you to explore lots of different breathing techniques, have an understanding of how breathing actually works, how it works in your body, and how you can use it to help accelerate your dance training, because it's a very overlooked area that can be extremely powerful in making you the best dancer you can be.